My name is Frei, and I'm an entrepreneur for over 25 years. And now I'm trying to go to the Olympics with the Philippine curling national team. This is my solo podcast. In this solo podcast, I will talk about personal branding. We will go a little bit more into depth. I truly believe that personal branding is superpower in this age of content creation. About 3 years ago, I went go-karting with my godchild. And after we were done go-karting, I asked him, so what do you want to do? And he told me, hey, I want to go to the candy store. So we went to the candy store. And then he went to the Prime Energy drinks. And I never heard of Prime Energy 2.5 years ago. There was this bottle and it was quite expensive. It was 8 francs. I asked him, so how many of these bottles do you want? And he told me he wants 10 of these bottles. And I was like, okay, that's 80 francs. So what do you want to do with these 10? And then he told me he will sell it next day in school for 12 francs. And I felt, okay, this is entrepreneurial. And then I came home and I researched Prime Energy and I realized it's done by Logan Paul and KSI, two YouTubers. And then I started looking into this field of influencer YouTubers. And it was interesting to see how the whole business model changed over the last couple of years. So in the beginning, all the TikTok influencers and YouTubers, they did marketing for other brands. And today, these YouTubers are having their own products. With Amorano, when we started our company, we had over 25% of our budget was marketing because we had to reach a new audience. And how did you spend that marketing? We spent it with TV advertisement, with Google. We spent it on publishers. If you cut out these 25%, suddenly your business becomes highly profitable because you don't need to spend any money on marketing. Looking at these YouTubers and these influencers, they are building this incredible model today where they create content out of their products and sell their products. Suddenly, your personal brand becomes a superpower, and your personal brand is a potential marketing channel. When you look at Ronaldo or Messi, often they have more followers than the clubs they're playing for. Everything is completely changing. For me, it's fascinating to see because it ties into a philosophy I have in business: compression and expansion. Every small town had like their small shop. And then what happened? You had the large companies, they consolidated the whole market. So you had like in every town, you had a small shop, mom and pop shop, and then the large grocery stores came and consolidated the whole market. And then suddenly the internet came along and everybody could do an online shop again. And you had thousands of online shops and everybody tried their online shop. And then what happened next is that these online shops became bigger and bigger and they consolidate again. So it was again compression. Suddenly you had the Amazons, and here in Switzerland you had Galaxus, and you had all these big conglomerates. And then what happened next was that Shopify came along and suddenly everybody could have, for a couple of $100 a year, the best online shop in the world. And now we are in this expansion phase where you combine having a top-notch shop from Shopify with social media and personal branding, and then suddenly you can create again a complete business. People often forget that people trust people first before they trust brands. And now we have this incredible opportunity where the personal brand can be at least a marketing channel for your business. We'll dig into it now, how you can structure the personal branding and how to improve your personal branding and also help your personal branding with your business or make your personal brand your own business. So if you build a personal brand, it's very important first that you understand what is the niche you want to get into. And then you start expanding out of that niche. Check which channels you want to put your content on. So obviously there's TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, podcasts, and YouTube. I created first a content plan where I have 3 to 5 topics I'm going to talk about. So these are the big 3 topics I have: business, going to Olympics, and life hacks. And then sometimes I have some fun stories or personal stories or events. Then I have the week, and we have the different channels. So not every channel is perfect for that topic or for long format and so on and so forth. So you need to understand which topic makes sense in which channel. You start by creating long format videos. The good thing about long format videos is you have a long format video you can upload on YouTube. You can transcribe that long format video for a LinkedIn post. You can make shorts out of it for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram. And you have an audio file which you can upload as a podcast. When you get into personal branding, people are often afraid because maybe they don't have the big success yet. They feel that they can talk about it. To change the mindset there, instead of going out with something that is perfect, it's more documenting the whole process you're doing. So even if you are a small content creator, even if you have a small business, you start with small things first and you talk about the struggles, for example. And then when you have that content, you start segmenting the content and see what works nice, what does the audience like on the one hand side, and what do you like on the other hand. So these are the two things you bring together, and then you start more and more to create more content. In the beginning, you start with quantity, so high quantity, a lot of output, but all the successful YouTubers, they move towards quality, so better output. And it's always going back and forth. It's not always only high quality. There are YouTubers, for example, like Mr. Beast, who have like high quality productions. But often these YouTubers also bounce back again to high quantity. For example, if you looked at Mr. Beast, how he's doing it on TikTok, there he has high quantity, low videos, very quick ones. And it's not only quantity and only quality. It's always moving a little bit back and forth to see what the audience wants and what you want to create. Often you want to be broad in the beginning because you have different topics, and then maybe you have a topic that people are really interested in and associate you with that specific niche. But sometimes you need to branch out a little bit because you want to get out a little bit of your specific niche to get more people to the audience again and see what kind of content you have. So it's always bouncing back and forth from quality to quantity and from niche to being a bit broader. If you want to go even further, then you can use technologies like tokenization to tokenize yourself. This is what I did. So I tokenized myself with the Alan Frei company, and everything I do, people can buy a share of myself. The beauty about it is that suddenly these shares become very easily transferable and tradable. People can buy shares of the Alan Frei company and they become part of that whole movement. So you monetize a personal brand. You can do that through digital products, through physical products or events. One thing I did, for example, is that I created the startup book, Alan's Startup Guide. I took all the podcasts I did in the beginning about startups and put it into a format that's a book. And we put it on Gumroad. I told people, pay what you want. So they could pay 1 franc or 0 francs or 20 francs, whatever they wanted to pay for the book. And the beauty is that I got their email address, so I could expand my community further with the email address. And I sold that book now about 8,500 times, and people pay on average 1 franc 80. So that's not a lot, but it's still money. And I can use that money to put into ads. You can use ads to expand your community and get even more followers. If you have that brand and if you have the community, you can start doing events. So you can expand your community, bring them physically together, and monetize them through events. And the last part is what you can do is you can monetize them with physical products. Here we tie back to Prime Energy, Mr. Beast, or whatever it is. Maybe you have a product that you're really passionate about and you want to create it yourself, and you can create that and then you start selling it first to a very few people before going out broad. So this is my setup for personal branding and how to monetize it. Bye-bye.